Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an interesting episode that I cannot wait to get into, so make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, this has been a topic I've absolutely been wanting to produce for quite some time now. The reason I find this topic so interesting is because it is directly related to my line of work, which is sports media. I have also said, excuse me, on many occasions, that sports media is a serious business and it's a lot of work, especially if you want to be a daily show. A daily show producing 1 to 2 or even sometimes 3 episodes 5 to 6 times a week. It is a lot of work. There's no two ways to say it. And as an independent media company, we're constantly studying the topics that these bigger platforms and bigger channels are producing, right? Because you have to stay in the know. You got to see what the competition is doing. And also you got to see, maybe they're talking about things that you may be unaware of, right? So you just can't kind of close yourself off to all of that. You got to look at the big boys and see and see what's really happening, and see what's really happening out there. Now, we recently put up a poll on our channel a few days ago. And on that poll, we asked our audience, of these 3 shows, these 3 sports shows, which one do you think produces the most interesting content on their show? And of the 3 options we gave them, they had to choose between Skip and Shannon's Undisputed, ESPN's First Take, and First Things First. And of the people that voted, of the 12,000 people that voted on that poll a few days ago, 60% of the voters said that Undisputed comes up with the most interesting shows, and then First Take finished with about 24 or 25% of the other voters, and then the remaining voters went to First Things First, right? So if you listen to our audience, it would seem as if Skip and Shannon's Undisputed is producing the more interesting topics, but as it turns out, according to some information that I discovered, through some research, it turns out that ESPN First Take is absolutely crushing, dominating Skip and Shannon's Undisputed. But before we get into those facts and figures, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. So check that out when we come back. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's a sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Now, there's some sources I want to get into here that really explain it, so I want you guys to bear with me, but I think a lot of you guys are going to find this quite interesting. So the first source that I'm getting is from Wikipedia, but there's some other sources that support it. This is just the fastest one I found. It basically says in 2018, Undisputed averaged about 165,000 viewers, and in 2019, on August 9th, 2019, averaged about 169,000. In 2021, the show averaged 199,000 viewers during the month of October, which beat the show's previous October peak of 189,000 viewers in 2019. And recently, ESPN, FS1, Skip and Shannon's Undisputed had their top month. I believe it was in January, if I'm not mistaken, and I got this from Fox Sports PR, where Skip and Shannon's Undisputed had their most watched show in the history of that show, with 376,000 viewers on that day. You can go check it out at their website. So that's what that article had to say about Undisputed. But let's take a listen to what ESPN press room had to say about ESPN First Take. And basically what they had to say here is that ESPN signature morning debut show First Takes, featuring Stephen A. Smith and host Molly Kerm, continued its strong start to the year in multiple viewership categories. Overall, the show was up 22% from 2021 with an average of 445,000 viewers. And I'm assuming, according to this article and according to the information, they are referring to daily viewers. So according to those sources, ESPN First Take is averaging 445,000 to Undisputed's 200,000 viewers a day. That is a double. That is a double in viewership, which brings us back to our poll. When that poll went up, I actually voted on the poll as well. And the show that I thought was a no-brainer was actually ESPN First Take. I voted for ESPN First Take. To me, they have by far the most interesting content on a daily basis, and they have a wider range of content, if you're being honest. Undisputed talks about 3 or 4 things on a daily basis. You can almost predict it. Those 4 things are LeBron James, the Los Angeles Lakers, something related to the Lakers or something related to LeBron. It could be the wine that he was drinking or the tweet that he put up or his hat or his beard, whatever it was, right? It could be either that. It could be the Lakers, anything related to the Lakers. It could be something that has to do with Tom Brady for sure. And it's something that has to do about the Dallas Cowboys. Those are really the 4 main staples of Undisputed. They seldom come up with interesting topics or talk about things that most people don't already know about. This is just my opinion as somebody that does this for a living on a day-to-day basis, that is constantly doing research, constantly searching for interesting things to talk about. But ESPN First Take, I think they do a much better job at bringing in a variety of topics. They talk about a whole bunch of different things, right? And I think it keeps their audience on their toes because they never really know what they're going to get on a daily basis. Obviously, ESPN First Take also has a good job. They're doing a good job with that kind of rotating cast that they have, with Stephen A. Smith being the staple and then bringing in Kendrick Perkins, Jay Williams, Mad Dog Russo. Some days they bring in Tim Legler, Jay Williams, and other people. So they always try to keep their audience guessing so things don't get stale, right? So from my vantage point, I think ESPN does a very great job of producing a wider range of topics. And to that, and as a matter of fact, I think First Things First actually comes up with more interesting topics. Now, I think Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe are the most interesting duo pairing on TV. I think they're the most interesting duo in terms of debate shows and guys talking about sports. But if we're talking about a variety of things, I think ESPN First Take, they bring in a bunch of, they're bringing the variety, and it's one of the things we in our channel try to do here. We're one of these channels out there where you can't really pinpoint one particular content that we produce and you say, okay, that's the reason that these guys are doing great. No, that's not the reason. You can go and look at the last 20 videos that we produced. The last 20 videos, you can go look at it. All of that information is at the homepage on our YouTube channel, and you'll see that all of them are different. We try to produce a wide range of topics that allows us to retain our audience, but also allows us to go out there and get new people to come in, right? So to me, the numbers clearly show that ESPN First Take is dominating. Now, some people may say, well, ESPN First Take had a head start on all of these different things. But even if you boil it down to the topic argument, just go to both channels and see who's producing a wider range of content. You'll see that ESPN First Take is talking about a wider range of things, right? Whereas on Undisputed, you could pretty much predict on a daily basis what they're going to talk about. And I think sometimes what happens is a lot of their arguments start getting stale. Sometimes I'm watching them talk and I'm like, man, I've heard this so many, like I'm tired, and I just change the video. Not to say that they're not good. It's just that if they challenge themselves to talk about a wider range of things, I think they'll be able to keep up with ESPN First Take. But right now the numbers are showing, the data is showing that First Take is dominating Undisputed when it comes to the viewership. And something worth noting is that Colin Cowherd's show as a single personality does exceptionally well for FS1. I just wanted to throw that in there because I read that. as a part of that press release that FS1 put out there. So these are my thoughts, and the question to you guys is this: what do you think about these numbers? What do you think about the points that I laid out? And now, given all the information that I've given you, do you still think that Undisputed, for those that said Undisputed produces the better topics, do you still think they're the ones leading the way in terms of topic variety? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.